Hey, happy days, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma, not in my pajamas. Day 626, 626 days ago, I have popped on and talked about what I'm doing as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. And obviously in 626 days, I have not replicated the success I had in the offline world in the online world exclusively. So I'm still here every day, popping up, showing up, sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly, thoughts, what's working, what's not working, and I think I talked yesterday about we always know what's holding us back. And I had an interesting conversation with a coaching student yesterday. He was like, can I coach you on something? And I'm like, yeah. Well, he was coaching me on how he wants to have me go through every little detail of everything with him. And I'm like, yeah, not my ideal coaching student. It's not. I want to be able to, hey, this is what you need to do, and I want you to go do it and then come back and show me the highlights and us go through the work that you've done. I don't want to go through it step by step, word by word, phrase by phrase. It takes hours and hours of my time, which, guys, it's kind of valuable, right? Our time is our most valuable resource. We can't always be giving away our time and using a ton of our time in ways that isn't in our own best interest. We do it, but we need to step back sometimes and say, yep, this isn't the best use of my time. And I guess that's not what I even want to talk about today. I want to talk about today, who is the expert of you? Who is your guru? Who is the expert? Who knows you better than anyone else on the planet? It's kind of a trick question, because the truth is, nobody. Only you can be an expert on you, both for physical, mental, financial, spiritual, contribution, emotional, feeling things. Only you can be the expert of you. Now, a lot of times we try to push that responsibility off on others. We try to let our spouse and our families and people around us guide us and tell us what to do, and then we feel like we're doing what they tell us to do, not so much what feels right to us. We let our doctors and psychologists and psychiatrists and people that we think are very influential have an impact on us, and we ask for their opinions and we look for their advice. We look for gurus and experts in different aspects and areas of our life, and we model their behavior and we do what they tell us to do. But how often in doing what they tell us to do, how often when we're picking or choosing who we're going to listen to, who we're going to follow, do we stop and ask ourselves, well, how does that make me feel? How does it make me feel when they say this or that? I will tell you, I have followed and listened to and read about and studied hundreds and hundreds of influential people over my career. I'm on this constant, continuous, never-ending adventure to learn and be and grow and the best person I can be. And so it means I've studied and listened to a lot of people's philosophies and beliefs and read tons of them. And I might love one or two things that they say, and I might think the rest of it's complete crap because it's right for them. It's all right for them. They're always sharing the advice and the things that have worked for them, but just because it worked for them doesn't mean it applies to my situation or will work for me. Now, there's this whole slew of levels that things need to get through to us, but that's another discussion as well. We have to know what is important to us right now. What is important for us to listen to? Who do we need to follow? Who do we need to learn from? And I do believe that the expression, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, is so true. But it doesn't mean we blindly follow everything and anything that they say. We have to always think for ourselves, because guess what? We're always 100% responsible for ourselves. We're always responsible for the choices that we make, and that includes the thoughts we think, the way we react to things, the behaviors that we exhibit. And as hard as that can be to be 100% responsible for all that sometimes, guess what? It's also awesome, because we know that we're the only one that can change anything that's going on in our life. And we're the ones that will actually do that because we're the expert in ourselves. Remember, when I was in my 20s, I got really, really sick, and I ended up actually bedridden for about 3 years because I had all kinds of funky kidney and vision and inflammation and joint problems. And I was looking to my doctors, all of my doctors, and there were plenty of them in different specialities, trying to figure out what was going on with me, how to treat it, what was wrong with me. And after about 3 years of this, I was getting really, really depressed and losing hope that they would ever figure it out. And at about that same time, they told me, guess what? We have no idea what's going on with you. We've run out of things to try. You're kind of on your own. And they said it a little nicer than that. But that's what I heard, and that's what they basically told me. Hey, some of them come back in 3 months, come back in 6 months, we'll see if anything's changed. But for the most part, this is the protocol, this is all we can do for you, you're on your own. And I had to decide, was I gonna believe them more than myself? Because something inside me said, this cannot frickin' be my life. This cannot be all there is. You know, I was in my early 20s. I was like, this can't be. There's got to be more to my life. I'm here for more than just writhing in pain in my bed and not being able to do anything or go anywhere or have any interaction except to go to doctors. This is not right. And so it wasn't until then that I actually began the journey of figuring out what the heck was going on with me and using myself as a science experiment and doing things to make my life better and taking control of it and asking myself, well, you know what, does this even feel right to me? Does this sound right? No, it doesn't sound right. I mean, I'm not dying, am I? I mean, it felt like it, but I was like, is this really what my life is supposed to be? And so since then, I have said, no, I am the expert of me. Now, other things have happened physically and emotionally and spiritually and mentally and financially that have sometimes made me question that and want to be a victim and want to not take responsibility and not want to know that if it's to be, it's up to me. But bottom line is, yep, that's a lot of responsibility, but who else are you going to give it to? Who else are you going to allow to think for you and make choices for you and feel for you and live your life for you? Nobody, right? It's part of why we're here, is to experience this life as only we uniquely can. And that means we are the only expert for us, so we can learn and listen and model and grow and continuously improve based on the information that we collect and we learn, but we always have to make it our own. So that's what I'm thinking about today. I'm actually thinking a lot about that today as I'm getting ready to travel. Also, just did the day 19 of the BP challenge, which again is one of my continuously improving activities. I love challenges, absolutely love challenges. And I pretty much always have got one going, either by myself or with groups of other people, because that's how fun they are. They're just fun. So to me, a challenge is just something we should always be doing, because I am my own guru, my own expert, and I need to figure out the bits and pieces of things that I learn and test them on myself and find out, okay, well, what works? Yeah, that didn't really work. Or how do I feel about trying that? If I'm excited about trying it, I'm probably going to do it and take action on it. If I'm not excited about it, it's for a reason, and I ask myself, well, how does that make me feel? If it makes me feel questionable or icky, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait and take time until I don't feel icky about it. And then a week later, I might decide, yeah, that feels better. I'm going to do it. But for some reason, I was supposed to wait that week before I actually jumped in and took that action. I'm done questioning that anymore. I've run into brick walls so many times or made huge mistakes when I did not listen to myself or listen to my gut or my intuition and just jumped in head first on stuff without really thinking about it. So I don't do that anymore. I think about it. I make quick decisions, very quick decisions, but they're not just based on my head. They're based on my head, my heart, my gut, my intuition, as much information as I can possibly gather in the amount of time that I'm allotted to make a smart choice and smart decision. And so I always make the decision that feels right and best to me at the time. Now, it might prove to be a really bad decision or a really bad choice, but at the time I made it, it was the best decision for me. And I guess I sleep better knowing that to be true. So did day 19 today of the BP challenge. And it's all about you being the expert of you. And it's part of what I'm talking about here, but about you being the expert of you. I'm like I said, you know, is it easier to be the victim and play the victim and everybody will feel sorry for you? Yeah, it just doesn't feel very rewarding or very valuable, right? I mean, it just means you're feeling bad all the time because you're always a victim. No, thank you. I'll pass. Getting ready for my trips. It's coming up faster than I can imagine. So as soon as I'm done creating my content today and processing it, I've got lots of work to do and lots of stuff to do. I also am looking at getting a VA, finally pulling the trigger and getting a VA to take care of some of my content for me. My vision is to the point where I want to say it sucks, and I'm struggling to get certain things done that used to be super easy for me, and I'm like, why the heck am I putting it off? What am I waiting for? I guess it's I don't want to admit that I need help with it, and I can do it, but why should I do it if I'm frustrated and struggling with it? It shouldn't be that way. I get to do the things that are fun for me at my age, and I get to do the things that feel good to me. Again, it's the up until now, it's felt okay. It felt really, really good when I was learning how to do it. It felt good when I was implementing it and improving it. Now that the process is in place and it's pretty much just a maintenance thing, I can do it, but it's challenging. So as it's becoming challenging, and it's physically becoming challenging for me, it's time to let it go. It's time to pass the baton to someone else and let them do it. So in the very near future, I will still be creating my own content. Someone else will be actually sharing my content. I will still be commenting and always showing up on every social platform as me. Nobody's going to comment for me. Nobody's going to ever be me or have my voice, because that's why social media exists, is for us to be out there interacting and engaging with people. So that will always be me, but I will have people that can copy and paste and post my links for me coming up really, really quickly. So what else have I got going on? I got a lot going on. I do need to do certain things to shore up my social media accounts, and I've been saying that since 2018, early 2018. So it's time to just break that down and start plugging away at that. Again, that's another thing that I can outsource and I can get somebody else to do for me, which will probably happen again by the end of this year. I'd like to get it done by the end of this year and cleaned up a little bit. I also need intro and outro to my podcast. I mean, I've done thousands of episodes and still don't have my intro music or my outro or my intro or my calls to action. It's sort of just like I'm doing them for fun, and I am doing them for fun. And so it's time to maybe get a little serious about that and actually help more people than I am by just doing it for fun. So that's it. If I can help you in any way, shape, or form, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Have an amazing day.